take two?
Yeah. All right, give it a shot.
We'll try again, folks. Hopefully you can hear us this time.
Got it.
All right, okay, thank you,
Yep.
Daniel.
All right,
Good fix.
Yeah. Just wanted to update, we did have an ad in the Shoppers Guide, we're gonna run that for 2 weeks. It's just talking about our closures for the holidays. Our office will be closed Thursday and Friday before Christmas, which is December 21st and 22nd. We're also gonna be closed Friday, December 29th and January 1st. When we come back on Tuesday, January 2nd, there is gonna be a rabies clinic from 5 to 7 p.m. And that ad is also in the Shoppers Guide. We have had a lot of donations. We just wanted to thank everyone for the Spirit Tree donation box. That organization's going to be picking up the donations this evening, and we got a lot, so very thankful for that. The Trio Dog module is underway. We are working on converting that over, which is great, and we should have that up and running before Christmas. So I am working with Will from Trio on that, and he's gonna be going on vacation, and we're gonna have it up and running hopefully by December 21st.
That's to facilitate the licensing of
That's right, yep,
the dogs and stuff.
yep. Other than that, I edited the follow-up issues. I just wanted to note on the DEP checks there, just to recap, that hasn't been paid out since 2017. I'm gonna reach out to the DEP. I feel like there's been enough time to get this sorted out and see if they will come in. And I just wanna get that money paid out. That's supposed to go to the state. As far as code enforcement files are concerned, that's gonna be a separate issue. But I do wanna pay those fees out and get that cleared off the books. Tax collection updates. We received $15,000 more from last week on 2023 taxes, and we did receive some more 2022 taxes. We're at 97%. And 2 properties that were going to be foreclosed on if it kept going are sold, and we did get indication of that this week, so there's 2 more off the list, so that's a good thing. That's all I got.
Okay. Thank you very much. As usual, we approve last week's notes and this week's agenda. We also approve bills to be paid and checks to be sent out, so that'll take a few minutes.
Daniel, the cemetery funds for private cemeteries needing repair. Can you give a list of the cemeteries that need the most repair?
I think there's a couple that are in dire need that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the big thing on how to identify which ones need work. The stipulations on it. But there are 2 that I definitely need to be fixed.
Okay.
Or-
Maybe that could be a workshop item. We
Yeah.
say these 2, get estimates, and
Mhm.
could we have that money in reserve account?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
The money's there for sure.
And then Deb, maybe when we figure out how, if it's railings and stuff, we could get an estimate for a railing out here too, for the grant. Did you sign that pink one already?
Yes. I didn't sign, Tom Winters.
Okay, yeah,
Because
we don't know.
We weren't concerned, but.
Yep.
That's
Tom.
all right.
Tom, if you're listening, please call in.
On some of the invoices that we're signing, it's, a lot of them pertain to the articles on the town meeting, the warrant items, where we voted to, visiting nurse, Southern Maine Agency, Red Cross, Grateful Dead, or Grateful Dead, I keep saying.
Grateful
Undead.
Undead.
It's very difficult. So, a lot of checks, but not much money, relatively speaking.
Can I ask a question?
You may ask anything you wish.
Why do those get paid out in December and not right after town meeting?
Probably you should ask our administrative assistant then.
Because first I'm working on the budget, and I'm setting up the accounts, and then I do it when I have time.
Why does it make this is a commitment the town made for the year.
Right, so the town votes to give this money out in September, and I feel like we're the last town to pay this out,
I'm sorry.
because we start getting emails on when they're gonna get the checks, so I just don't understand if the people vote on it September, why it can't be done. We get our raises right after town meeting. I just don't understand why all the changes can't be made right after town meeting, and the organizations get their money sooner.
I don't know. I do know that other towns have a 6-month head start on us because they hold their town meetings in March. So their checks would be coming in June, July, August, September maybe, and they maybe be concerned that our checks aren't here, even though the other towns might have taken, 4 or 5 months to do it. Are you getting phone calls, where's my
Yeah.
check?
Yeah, we are.
I've gotten two.
And I think it's just important. I mean, everything else gets changed over, so I don't understand why those can't be done when we do the back pay back to July 1st for
Well,
everything.
it's something we can certainly look at.
So, I mean, we're not waiting on our raises till December. We're getting paid immediately after town meeting, so I just don't. They're important organizations. I just feel that they need to be paid sooner, that's all.
Well, there's no time frame as to when they should be paid. I mean, I think we're doing, and this is what we've always done, really. I mean, this is nothing different. So I don't think we're purposely delaying anything.
Yeah, I don't think we're delaying it. I think something we could just maybe talk about when we have some time.
We have no ads to review from the shopping guide. Even though Danielle mentioned there'll be some ads in there concerning closures and dog licensing, that type of thing. Code enforcement, nothing from Jesse. We have asked the deputy code enforcement officer to sit down with Jesse, and they've been working together, at least today I know, to try and get up to date on all the reports and make sure everything goes out on time, including the checks for the state. We have our York County Sheriff's Report, which came in last week, and the state police report, which came in this week for November, which indicates about about 60 calls that the state police responded to in Parsonsfield. So it's, you put those two reports together and you have a total police response for the town of Parsonsfield. As was mentioned, the rabies clinic to be held on January 2nd, from 5 to 7 p.m. Nothing on the appeals board. We're appointing Desiree Lyle and to the board, and we're confirming that Tom Winters would like to I don't know, rejoin the board. He was on the planning board, so would like to participate. We want to make sure that Tom feels comfortable with this. Comprehensive Committee, the next meeting is on January 2nd. Secaucus Road updates. David has been working with them, trying to make sure all the money that was owed the town has been paid to the town. So they've responded, and they'll be setting up a meeting next week with David to confirm what's been paid and what hasn't been paid. And they're also planning on providing a monthly email update. So hopefully that will alleviate the problem in the future. We have a pole permit for Randall Lake Road. Looks like it's about 5,000, about a half mile in off of Cram Road, so there'll be a pole going in on the right-hand side. York County Emergency Management. Matt Kim was not appointed for this year. We want to thank Matt for his outstanding contributions during the snowplow incident, where the snowplows stopped running and the vendor quit. So Matt was instrumental in getting the state on board and coordinating that. Our new EMA officer is Jen Lewis. You might have heard of her. Happens to be a new select person. She's already starting to take classes, and we think she'll do a good job. Hopefully she won't have to do anything, really, because that means we don't have any emergencies.
But you never know, right? You never know.
You never know, and that's why you'll be there. Effingham keeps us appraised of what's happening with the gas station application on Route 25. Just enough more meetings going on. We have our monthly meetings on community activity. Our Monday morning coffees are generally 15 to 25 people. Obviously, most of the people from Parsonsfield. couple from neighboring communities. Our luncheon is going to be in January. I don't know if the time has been set yet or not.
December 27th.
We're doing it in December?
Yep, December 27th.
I thought we had suspended.
No, we didn't have one in November because it was
Right.
right next to Thanksgiving, but we're gonna do it in the week between Christmas and New Year's.
That's gonna be the 27th?
Yep, that's a Wednesday. It's the fourth Wednesday of the month, and it's in the paper and it's on our website. And,
Okay.
Yep. It might not be as well attended as some, but, you know, for folks who don't have family, and
Do we know what the menu is?
we do.
Could you share that with us?
Okay, I'm giving you a heads up. It's a baked haddock. Baked haddock, carrots, cheesecake with caramel sauce.
And they should call,
Pam Pride, it's on the ad.
okay, to make sure you make a reservation
Yep.
because
They can email,
basically those are sold out, folks.
yep, they can email or call.
A lot of people ask about that when they come in to do registration.
Do they?
Stuff. Yep.
Yep. And we thank Saban for coming through again.
We have,
Oh, you know what I'd like to add to that too, is that our free food distribution last week, the final numbers were that we had, fed 40 families, or 40 families were able to, grab boxes. And I think there was like 23 kids and, you know, a good number of seniors, citizens also. So we're talking about doing it on a monthly basis. Just trying to work out some of the logistics and that kind of thing. So more on that later.
I think it worked out well, leaving the access, and people came in like after the next day if they couldn't
Yeah.
get the original.
They went, they just, yeah,
It was great.
yeah. So thank you, Youthful Maine.
well, it's good that we're able to provide that service.
Yep, they did a good job.
Eagle Creek Renewable Energy. Hydro project, I'm assuming, Danielle, is this on the river down by
Eagle Creek?
Powder House Road or whatever the heck it is?
It's on Powerhouse Road, yeah, it's the hydro station down
Okay,
there,
I just
yep.
wanna make sure it was not another project sneaking in.
No,
Okay. We have information on crosswalks. We want to get a couple of our crosswalks in town refreshed, I guess is the word. They're faded into oblivion. Naturally, there's all sorts of guidelines as to how to put a crosswalk in. So we'll be working with the state to get those two crosswalks in. Signage has to go up, and it's not as easy as just getting a paintbrush out. Road Commissioner Myers working on 2023 FEMA reports. This is to get the money owed the town from a storm a year ago. Meyer and Debbie have met with the FEMA officials 2 or 3 times, so hopefully we'll see some money from that at some point in the near future. The Atlantic plunge, is that, whose is,
just something we thought you might be interested in, Ed.
you want, thanks a lot. Well, I am certainly not gonna plunge into the Atlantic. Shower's good enough for me. This is January 1st, 2024. I can't even, Gooch's Beach in Kennebunk?
Yeah.
Storm date, who cares storm date? I mean, it's going. But,
I don't think it's something you have to finish up. We just,
I know, it's Caring Unlimited, so effort to raise money, which is always good. And there's some question, and we should maybe talk a bit about the zoning board of appeals and their fee structure. We have, our fee structure, and we have the free, I guess Debbie put this together, the fee
No,
structure.
Desiree did.
Desiree did? Of all the other towns. So, does anyone have any,
I like the idea of having a bigger upfront fee and no escrow, because it seems like that's what most of the towns do. And she also sent out,
now so the upfront fee would be non-refundable then, just,
I think that's up to us.
well, that's why I'm,
Yep. If it's not granted, if the appeal's not granted, then the money would get refunded to them. Go ahead.
That money, when you say an escrow, escrow is like a holding account.
Right.
And if it's gonna be paid out, it really should be put into a general ledger, in and out. Not involve the general fund per se.
if they have a fee for filing, pick a number,
Right here, it's $25.
what do I see, 100? For Parsons?
Oh, I'm looking at planning board. I'm looking at the planning board, you're right. So for Parsonsville, the ZBA is 100. Yep.
So now, if we wanted to increase that, would any be, you're saying you'd like the money returned if their appeal is upheld?
Not if it's, if they go to the appeals board,
And they win their appeal.
right,
The appeals board still has to put in the work to determine whether the appeal was valid or not. I guess that's,
right.
so would therefore they lose, not lose, but they would have expended their application fee.
Right, I don't think that they would get all of it back. Maybe that's what the 150 in escrow was for, on top of it.
Well, I think that's the way it was structured.
Right,
So they would, and I think that was the application fee is the 100.
mm-hmm,
And the escrow amount was used if they had to notify abutters and postage and certified mail, oh, that's postage, but, and anything not spent in that account would get reimbursed back. Is that how you understand it?
would that escrow money be used for the, for an ad in the paper also?
Yes. So I don't know, maybe, I'm thinking maybe, Debbie, is it a big problem to keep the escrow?
No, not at all.
No,
Okay, so.
No,
Right.
it's basically just a holding account, it's like an in and out account,
Well, I mean, the fees go from $50 to $700. 700 seems a little excessive, the town of Waterboro,
right, we don't know how much of that is refunded either.
correct. So it looks like a median is, a medium is around 200. Hiram's 300, Freiburg's 100, Stanish is 200, Acton 250. So I guess the question is, would you raise the administration fee to, say, 200? Or would that discourage, too much to discourage people from filing an appeal, which, you know, could be a valid appeal?
Right. I think what Debbie was saying was that change the escrow to something more,
well, it's the same thing.
Right,
It's
it really would
general
be the
ledger,
same
it's
thing.
escrow is just holding the money
Yeah.
there.
I mean, the escrow money they'd get back,
Right.
so that
Well,
doesn't
not all of
matter.
it, some of it could go,
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
but in the sense that anything that's not spent, but that seems a reasonable,
the application fee should go right towards the
right,
revenues.
right. Now, the question is the application fee enough to,
What Desiree is saying, that without a set fee, we would see an uptick in appeals filed.
well, we do have a set
We do have
fee.
a set fee. Maybe it's something we need to talk to
Why don't we sort of table that and,
Desiree a little
right,
more.
does she mean an increase in fee? We would.
Yep, she means an increase in the upfront fee. Instead of 100, charge
Right,
more,
like
and not,
150 or something.
and not use the escrow account method.
Well,
That's what she's saying.
then the escrow amount would come out of the,
I think it's worth talking to
The
her a little
fee.
bit more and
Yeah.
seeing why, why.
okay.
Yep.
All right, so we'll, and as she's gonna be a zoning board of appeals member, it will be, and she records all the information now and videos it, so.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll table that one until, we can talk to her and get a little more information.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it, folks? That's it on the agenda. Jen, do you have anything
Oh, I think,
other than what we've mentioned?
no, I think all that's good. I think it's, went through everything.
Jeff, you've been gone so long, I almost didn't recognize you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, that's good. Speak.
Question, the ZBA charges, is the fee $250 if somebody challenges the ZBA?
Correct, right now, as I understand it, Jeff, it's $100 fee to apply.
To apply?
Well, to,
For somebody that's involved with?
yes.
But,
Now, the 150 escrow is if any costs associated with the appeal. Shopping guide, postage,
sure,
attorney, I don't know.
right,
That would be taken out of the 150.
right,
And they would get refunded any remainder from the 150.
right. But if a citizen challenges the ZBA on a
Well,
decision,
a citizen or
let's just say,
a litigate?
litigate, let's just say I don't agree with what the planning board did. They go in front of the ZBA, and I still don't agree with the
Well, but
ZBA.
this is your
I'm
case,
just-
not someone else's.
Yeah, let's just say it's my case.
Okay,
And it's cost me to appeal what the zoning board made the decision on, $250.
well, 100 plus expenses, say.
Well, it's $250.
Well, I know, but you'd get some back if it was, it's not a flat rate.
I don't think you get anything back.
You get escrow money back.
That's why a lot of people
You
don't
do
appeal
in
things.
some cases,
Well,
not always.
So the
Well, I
100
know,
is
but I
just your
mean-
application fee.
Yeah, but
Right.
as a citizen, if you wanted to challenge the planning board and the ZBA, it
Right.
costs you $250. So therefore, nobody's gonna wanna challenge the ZBA, because it's gonna cost them $250 to challenge the
The
ZBA
planning
that
board, you
made a
mean.
decision,
The
on the
decision.
planning board that made something, let's say they made a
Right.
mistake.
And Desiree's kind of saying the,
I'm just saying.
yeah, she's kind of saying the opposite. If we don't increase the fee, I think without
I
set
think
fees.
they've increased the fee to $250 for a private citizen, so that people can't challenge the ZBA or the planning board. If the planning board makes a bad decision, the citizens doesn't dare challenge it because it's gonna cost them $250 as a citizen, not as a person that's the applicant.
Oh, this isn't like in a butter or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's somebody entirely not involved in the appeals process to begin with. It's-
Right,
It's
but
somebody
just
who's,
doesn't agree with
Yep.
what the planning board
Well,
made.
but they'd be participating
They'd
in
have
the
to have enough,
discussion.
right.
Because they're in a butter and they'd be
Well,
notified.
let's just say they're not in a butter. Let's just say they just don't agree with what's going
Then
on. I'm just saying, it's $250 for anybody to
well,
challenge.
then
the
I would
ZBA.
take that that person take his $250 and give it to the person that's concerned with the action and have them appeal. You can't, I don't know whether a non,
I'm just saying that
Member of
if
the-
I don't agree with the planning board's decision.
but you
And
have
if I
no
don't-
connection with the case though.
I'm just saying, if I don't agree with the planning board's decision,
Right,
and I don't agree with the ZBA's decision,
right.
or if I just don't agree with the planning board, and I go to the ZBA and say, hey, I don't agree with that, it's gonna cost me $250 to appeal that decision, that the planning board.
Right, and I don't know if I don't know
I'm just saying, it.
who is, I know.
You didn't mention it,
would,
you
yes.
didn't mention it, you didn't mention it,
But-
but there's a fee of $250 for anybody that wants to challenge the planning board's decision.
Right, now, I
As
don't
a
know
private
whether
citizen.
someone who isn't a participant,
But that isn't even what we're
In the
talking, that
action.
isn't what we,
No, I know, you're talking
we weren't
about-
even talking about that at all.
No.
You
Oh,
were
right.
talking about,
We're just talking about-
refunding people who won the
Right.
case.
We're talking about an appellant who's filing a ZBA appeal.
Anyone
right,
can
thank
do
you,
it.
good, the appellate, good word. Not someone from
Well, you just didn't, I just didn't.
away.
Yeah, I just didn't hear that the fee was, that you mentioned the fee, that's all, that's all I'm bringing up. When you say there's gonna be an uptick of people challenging the ZBA or the appeals board, there's a downtick, because somebody doesn't wanna challenge them because it costs them, a private citizen can't challenge them because it costs them $250. It never used to. Anybody used to be able to challenge the planning board decision and go to the appeals board for nothing, for free. But then all of a sudden, a fee got applied for $250 to stop people from
Well, I think
disagreeing.
Appealing the appeal?
Appealing a decision made by the planning board.
Right, that's what it sounds like.
Planning board was not following regulations, people went to challenge it, and then they said, well, let's charge them $250 to challenge the planning board's decision. That wasn't mentioned tonight, I just.
Now, we were saying though, if they win, they get their money back?
You know what, I'm not sure of that. I would have to ask.
say the-
I would have to
the
ask.
application fee, what
Yeah.
hasn't been expended, or,
That's true too, I mean,
you
you
know,
Right.
because they have to place ads.
The application fee is the application fee, and then
Yeah.
if there's money in
And none of
escrow.
the money that is collected covers an attorney.
Can you
That's a
recall
separate-
a check being refunded ever?
wouldn't that be out of the escrow account?
No. No.
And you already have an escrow account set up with the planning board already.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be a problem to have an escrow for the ZBA.
Well, they have an escrow, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just,
okay.
right now.
All right,
Well, we can look into
well,
that.
that's just, I'm just mentioning it.
No, I know,
Um,
you have good thoughts.
Yeah, okay, I did want to congratulate you for putting the post up to protect the oil filler tank,
Oh.
the spigot. I didn't want to bring it up this year, but I'm glad you guys did it.
It takes us a while sometimes.
Yeah, baby steps, I get it.
Debbie, you notice it's out there?
Yeah.
I wonder if the shingles were fixed yet, but.
No.
What is this has nothing to do with today, but what is the policy for the town parking lot? Is there any kind of policy for the town parking lot?
Regarding what?
Anything.
The 8 spaces we have, or whatever, 6 spaces?
Yeah, the 6 spaces, 8 spaces.
Oh, you mean down at the post
The-
office?
Yeah, post
Not
office.
the town hall.
Yeah, I didn't know what the policy was. I know there's if I can give you a hint on part of the policy, is there's no overnight parking.
Correct, the sign right there,
Because there's
right?
a sign.
Right.
Right.
Right. But I just didn't know what the policy
Yeah,
is.
there's no,
Other than that,
Just like, who has the right to use it?
What is it?
What?
What is it?
There's a few parking spaces down at the parking lot by the post office.
Between
In
the
between the
hardware
hardware
store,
store and the post office.
For what?
For parking, if you're going into the hardware store, the post office, or maybe going over to Village Variety or
bakery.
bakery or,
Municipal parking, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
minutes, yeah.
yep.
I was just wondering.
Now those,
I was just wondering what the policy was, because I was.
There's
at-
no charge.
Right, because I was at a planning board meeting, and, well, actually, I wasn't at a planning board meeting, I listened to a planning board meeting, and they granted the Stanley Building parking for the tenants at the town parking lot. So I was just wondering what the policy was.
Really? How many?
I don't think so. I don't think so, Jeff. I don't think they granted them parking at the municipal lot.
They
No.
said they can park there.
Well, anyone can park there.
No, they can use it was included in the parking plan.
They can't.
Right.
I'm just asking what the policy was.
Yeah.
There's no, anyone can park there,
Okay,
not overnight.
okay.
If they happen to be working or going into the Stanley building,
No,
that's fine.
I get it, it was just part of their parking plan is to use the town parking lot, and I was just asking what the policy was.
They couldn't reserve it for members utilizing the Stanley building.
They what?
They couldn't reserve parking for people using the Stanley building.
They could or not?
Could not.
Could not.
Right, I know, because it wasn't possible when Peter Collins owned the building.
Right.
They
Well, I
said,
don't
no,
know
you
that,
cannot
but
use
whatever.
it. That's why the post office got those 6 spots in the front, because they wanted to delineate whose parking is where. 15-minute parking in the front, highway store on the left, town in the center, and that's it. But maybe I misheard the meeting that was part of the parking plan, the town parking.
Well,
lot
I
was
think,
mentioned.
I would assume they could include it as part of their parking plan, because it's parking for town residents.
Parking for what?
Town residents, undesignated parking, whatever you
Yeah,
want.
that's overnight. I'm just,
Well, we did say no over, it says no
The
overnight
sign
parking.
says no overnight.
so are you gonna change that policy?
Why?
Why?
Well, if the tenants need the place to park overnight.
What tenant?
No. No.
If it's, we're just jumping ahead, now I'm just kicking the ball around, that's all. I listen to a meeting, I hear what I hear, and I'm just questioning, that's all.
Just like me.
If it needs to be addressed, we'll certainly address it, Jeff.
I
But
just
right
don't-
now,
I just
there's
don't wanna have
no,
to, I just don't wanna have to go in front of the ZBA, that's all.
well, get your check ready. Sir, Jeff,
Oh, why, how come we don't discuss the bills, when the bills are being paid, how come we don't discuss like how much it costs? Like, remember we used to, like sand, oh, it costs us $3,000
well,
for
we used to
sand. It's just so that people don't
bring
get
up some and I still do, on rare cases.
rare.
But, I mean.
I've been here like 9 years,
I
rare.
didn't wanna really waste people's time with basically routine bills.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Anyone's welcome to come in and look at them.
I get it, I'm just.
And if money's approved at the town meeting for that budget, then as we pay out the bills, it's already kind of been approved.
Right, I get it, but.
No, I'd like to know what's going on, I
I've
understand.
attended a couple of other town meetings, and sometimes they'll just read them all at once. They'll just say, well, you know, as you signed, but one person will just read, we just spent $250 for road crew, blah, 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 they just read right down the line, blah, blah, blah.
We could certainly do that.
Just under consideration, that's all.
Okay.
And can I have a copy of the police report?
I'm sorry? No, you're on it.
And it's gonna be on the website?
I was being
Is it on the
facetious, yeah.
website, or, I just wanted to go.
Well, we could- It'll be on the website, right?
For November? I don't have November yet, I don't.
The state police, you should get it, Kevin.
I don't have it from November, so if that's what he's looking for,
Well, it was here, we had it in today's
Yeah.
okay.
report.
I was just wondering if I could have a hard copy.
Well, we'll certainly get your copy, Jeff.
Okay. All right, I guess that's it. I can't wait to have that big haddock and cheesecake with coffee.
That's good. Well, listen, folks, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
I do have a question for you. Is that on?
You want it?
All right.
Oh, yeah, I don't need it on. Well, it's a-
Thank you, folks, that's it.